The the challenges for such a big classical well-known piece are the standard was made worldwide a long time ago, and dancers always try to refine their technique to be stronger, better, more accomplished. And in a ballet like Sleeping Beauty, there are so many challenges, and it's also one of the Sleeping Beauty has always been the one that everybody says is the most complicated of the big classical ballets, because some of the big classical ballets rely on strong principles, but when you can tell when the company is good, when all of the group work is good, and that's what Singapore Dance Theatre is particularly good at. We have very strong principles, but it's when you see the group dancing very, very well together that you know that the company is really strong. So getting it to that level is the challenge, and not letting it slide backwards and not saying, well, that's good enough. Someone said that, well, that's good enough, isn't it? And I said, no, it's not good enough. Sleeping Beauty is my favorite classical ballet of all of them. I like whichever one I happen to be working on the moment I say is my favorite, but if I wasn't working on one at the moment, I'd have to say it's Sleeping Beauty, because when I was a student, I've done everything from being a little child to being a monster to being Bluebird to being the prince. So I've been the whole gamut. And then teaching, because I teach it myself, I teach every single role in the ballet. I know it all intimately, and so it is my favorite.
This is a very pure classical role, and so that everything, the technique has to be very clean and very precise. So that's going to be a challenge for me. And this is my third time doing this role. So I hope I can relax into it more this time, and I can focus more on the details and the quality of movement more. She does these balances that, she has to stand on point and do a balance in one leg, on one leg. So it's going to be a very challenging thing for me, and stamina-wise, it's hard. I think just being on stage, surrounded by lots of people, and I think the whole thing is just so special, and then I enjoy.
I'll say it means like the feeling of being a princess, immersed in the feeling that you're a princess.
Yeah.
This will be my third time playing Princess Aurora, and then every time I think I had a different challenge, and this time I'm quite used to the steps, like technically, but I'm still having struggle with Act 1, Rose Adagio. It never gets comfortable. It's a really, really hard.
Technical.
Yes, I need a lot of concentration to stay in one leg, changing hands with 4 different princes, and if I go on stage, the light hits me, then I will feel a lot different from studio. So I try to imagine myself, I'm on stage, and practice that part every time, and that's one challenge. And the other challenge is she's 16 years old, so yes, I have to have the spirit of a 16-year-old princess, so it's quite fun and challenging. Unlike other pieces like Dong Q we did in December, this piece is very, very pure classical piece. It's not much drama, not really spectacular fancy techniques. It's like a textbook for ballerinas to go through. It has to be very, sometimes it's harder to be clean, simple, pure. So I really have to work on that. As I go on stage more and more, I find out like tricks, like I can make this look, or I can make this step easier. Instead of going through the exact A, B, C, I can just go from A to C without letting the audience know. But for Sleeping Beauty, I can't do that. I have to be very
Go back to the textbook
fundamentals. Yes,
Yeah.
there's no shortcut for any step for this piece.
So going back, it's although it's a challenge, but still it's enjoyable.
Yes.